So talk about what it is you want to do, like how you plan on protecting the environment. Is that something that you think is important for the people in your district?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the issue, one of the issues I'm the most comfortable with because I spent extensive time both out in the field working on this issue, studying this issue extensively to come up with some policy proposals. And I'm glad to also have the endorsement of several environmental groups of Sunrise Movement here in Broward, the support of votewater.org, which is with Bull Sugar, and as of today, the support of Everglades Trust, which is doing some incredible work. So climate change is a multi-layered issue. A lot of people, when they think of climate change, they think of, just sea level rise, which is important. In South Florida, sea level rise is a next generation, and not even a next generation, it's an issue affecting us now.
Right.
With the way saltwater intrusion is going to affect. People think, oh, well, we're going to drown. It means the sea rise. It's a lot less dramatic, but a lot more dramatic than that at the same time. So we might not all drown in like 5 years, but what will start happening is the sea levels will be rising. And what we'll see that saltwater intrusion in our freshwater aquifers, like the Biscayne aquifer, and some of the other aquifers where we get our drinking water supply. So then now when that saltwater is in our aquifers, that drinking water, that one aquifer alone supplies drinking water to over 8 million people in South Florida, all of us. So if we don't start dealing with climate change, we're going to be our drinking water supply is not going to be safe and reliable in the long term. So it's a big issue, and we have to be willing to tackle all of the layers. I don't know why this person is continuously calling me at the same time, but so we have to tackle all of the layers. So sea level rise is one part of climate change. There's other parts. The other parts of climate change is heat waves, the ice melting in the Arctic, waterways, pollution affecting our waterways, which isn't just affecting us in terms of drinking water. It's affecting our water. It's affecting our natural ecosystems. It's affecting our wetlands, the Everglades. And there's so many layers to this. It's also a racial and economic justice issue as well when we think about this, with the way it's affecting Black and Brown communities and unprecedented amounts and levels. This affects air quality. It affects the food we eat. It affects our healthcare system as well. People think of climate change just as an environmental thing. It affects every single layer of our lives politically as well. And we gotta take it seriously now, because we think healthcare is bad. Wait until people start getting, people already are, but getting sick and crazy numbers because of the air quality, because of the food quality, because of the pollution in the water, because of issues we should have been addressing a long time ago. We need people, I think this next decade is important for us to get young people like myself in office, because, we care about this issue not because, it's just an issue to care about and it's important, because it also affects us too in the long term. And a lot of the politicians in there, they're not going to be here in 20 years, unfortunately. So they're not going to really see this play out in the long run. But addressing climate change is multi-layered. It addresses water, the air quality, the food quality, economic justice aspects of this, including the fact that most of the people in our state live in coastal communities and coastal areas. And here's the biggest point of that, and how this ties into the current pandemic. And this is somebody who studied both history and public health at the same time. Here's how it ties into the pandemic. Now we're in hurricane season. So now we have a pandemic where all these people are sick. Now we're in hurricane season. So what happens if we get a Category 5 hurricane that hits us and we still have the pandemic going on? How do we prevent the spread of this pandemic? How do we get people, make sure people have shelters and homes and food and everything they need to stay home while there's a hurricane at the same time?
Right.
Nobody's talking about that. Although
Right.
that is the next generation issue we need to talk about.
Right.